Hello, this is a comment on one of Sal's videos. He does an example where you're figuring out the number of total fruits. And you start with the number of apples and the number of oranges. Now, you'll notice I did B. The reason why is very simple because O looks a lot like 0. So rather than have any confusion, I'm just going to call it B. And the ratio that's given, the solutions that are shown come out to 5/8 and A minus 15 is 1/4. Okay. So you're given this ratio, and then you're given that the total number of apples minus 15 changes the ratio to, did I say 1/4? Okay, 5/8. You start out with a ratio of 5/8 and you end with a ratio of 1/4, which just means that for every 5 apples there are 8 oranges originally, and then after you eat 15 apples, hope you're full, you have 1 apple for every 4 oranges. So what he did was he showed kind of a weird method of, from my standpoint, method of doing one into the other. And a few people kind of agree with me because they didn't understand his method of doing it. So what I'm going to do is solve by substitution. And so if I take this first equation, because it's easy, and I solve for B, I'm going to do, to start, B times A over B equals B times 5/8. And these B's cancel, and I get A equals 5B over 8. And all I did there was, I just put it on the top, and I just changed the order they're written in. So now I can substitute for A. So I can replace that A with this equation, and I get 5B over 8 minus 15, all of that, over B equals 1/4. Okay, again, I'm going to multiply out a B to get a B on this side, to get B over 4. Now, I can tell that I'm going to have to move this B to this side over here. I'm going to have to move the 15 to that side. So I am actually going to convert this. I know that this in eighths would have the same as that. But if I multiply this to get 8, I got to multiply this by the same number. That number is 2. These are easy values. If you're watching this video, you should understand why I was able to do that, because you should have seen it before by this point. But basically, I just multiplied by 2 over 2 to take 1/4 and turn it into 2/8, which is the same. So let me clean up here. So we have 5B/8 minus 15 equals 2B/8 Now I subtract the 2b8s from both sides, and I add the 15 to both sides just to get these things to change positions, and they change signs. So 2b, 5b, both over 8. So I have 5b minus 2b all over 8 equals 15. The 2 subtract out to give me 3. Now, got an 8 here on the bottom, so I can multiply by 8 over 1 to get rid of that, which means I have to multiply this side. The 1 doesn't matter. And 15 times 8 oh, sorry about that. 15 times 8 is 120 is my number. So 3b. Okay. So again, divide out the 3, and that's pretty simple because that becomes 4. 0 stays. That goes. B, my number of oranges equals, like I said, try to divide out, I get the 4, 0 after it stays, B equals 40. Now I'm going to go back to those first two equations, and I'm going to substitute in to both of them. So I've got A divided by 40 equals 5/8. Well, this is pretty simple. I'm going to multiply both sides by 40 over 1. On this side, it's going to cancel. I should have left myself more room to write that. On this side, well, if you think about it, 8 goes into 40 5 times. So I'm just 5 times 5, which equals 25. I've got nothing over here, so that equals A. A equals 25. So there's my other number, my other variable. But I still want to put it into the other calculation to confirm. So I say A minus 15, again over 40, equals 1/4. Well, I'm going to do my 40 multiplication to cancel, and over here the 4 simplifies, so I end up with just 10. So I'm saying A minus 15 equals 10. Well, if I add 15, this equals 25, which is the same number. So I've gotten the same result that confirms that my number of oranges equals 40. My number of apples equals 25. However, what we were looking for is the total fruit after you ate 15 apples. So I take the minus 15. I get the 10. So I have 10 apples at the end, but the entire time I have 40 oranges. 40 plus 10 equals 50 fruit. And that is the answer. Solving a ratio through substitution, which is a little different from what Sal showed. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with Sal's method. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this method. It's just two different ways to do the same thing.